Jeremy Seewer, 2 pre-season weekends, or France, I think you were very impressive, and today you had to fight through the field, it seemed like every race. How do you sum up your 2 different weekends?
I was actually supposed to race in France today.
That's right, yeah.
I came here last minute, so everything was a bit tricky, I wasn't prepared at all to come here, but still I did it just to take it as training, and I took the day slow. Didn't want to push anything crazy because the track was so wet, quite tricky and dangerous, and those jumps scary with those ruts in the landings.
Yeah, they're huge.
Especially that double there in the back. But I just, I knew I haven't done a lot of those kind of stuff because I stayed away from Belgium. I was always out on the good and nice tracks to get my speed with the bike. And last weekend was a good reference on normal conditions, and it went super well, And this weekend, solid riding. I started off slow, didn't push it, and just did my thing. But by the end of the day, I picked up the speed, and in the last moto, we all followed each other. It was quite fun. I was actually impressed that we started after MX2. I messed up my start because I had no idea how they managed with the 2 drops, because they said they put it up and then another 5 seconds, but basically up, down. I wasn't ready, but still impressive how we could go through the field that quick, even past Adamo after 6-7 laps, so overall happy in the end of the day, just to make improvements in these conditions, learn the bike in these conditions, don't do any silly mistakes, ride solid, pick up the speed towards the end with the top cracks in the sand. So I think I sum it up positive.
And how has the adoption been to the Kawasaki overall? What percentage are you fully comfortable? Are you at 80 or 90%, or what's the biggest change then from the Yamaha as well?
It's a full change on engine and chassis. It's like a whole combination. The biggest change, hard to say. In the end, it's still a bike, 2 wheels, and the throttle is on the right side. But it's still a big process just to dial in your setup, your suspension, your engine, your preferences, just to make it work on any track. Some tracks I go, I'm at 100%. I'm like, yeah, let's go. I'm ready to race. Some tracks I come, I'm like, okay, here we need to work a bit, which is normal, But overall, it's a good bike and it suits me, and I think we have some good racing ahead with it.
And is your setup similar to Fevre? Can you learn anything from that, or are you completely different and you have to learn it all yourself, really?
I think I'm a guy anyway learning it myself, because copying others doesn't really work. I have my own style, and even if, sure, I know what he's running, and I don't think it really works for me on some things. Maybe some things work, but most of the things I'm quite different, like Romain has a different riding style than me, so you can't really compare that at all.
Renen Gear, big move for you there, really, especially in Europe. You're the sort of guy for them now. How did that come about, and do you like sort of leading things that way, a new fashion trend potentially?
Yeah, I've always been a guy, I want to be on point, and it's like sometimes sad to see out there having like a factory bike, being a top athlete, riding for the World Championship podium or wins, and then you show up with something like, hey, come on, you look like a clown, So I'm like, hey, I gotta look decent, and I think Renen is the choice, and I'm really proud and happy to be representing them in Europe, and he's the first guy to really bring it over here, and I think they have a plan to sell some stuff over here, and step by step we get there. But I think it's cool, and it's something new. I think the industry needed something new. Like all the other stuff is, it's been there for a while.
And they were the guys behind Fox originally with Ricky Johnson. All they're pretty genius in terms of marketing and new things, so it's probably quite exciting to be involved with them on that level as well.
Yeah, sure. It's nice to see, what they do. For now, they kept it a bit like behind the scenes, low level, a bit secret. But I think in the right moment, they will really drop it and go for it. So let's see how that goes. But I'm proud to be part of it for sure.
So the start of the GP seasons, each year I always feel you could be a world title contender, especially the last 2. But the start has never went ideally, especially last year. How important is it for you now to get through healthy the first couple of rounds with solid results, and then come into your own then as the season progresses to be a world title contender this year?
Yeah, for sure I'd like to be a title contender, but this year is a little different. I changed the bike, so I'm more focused on figuring that part out, on really dialing the bike in, on on feeling good on it. But I think I'm quite ready to even fight for wins and podiums, you know. So yeah, sure, last 2 years the beginning of the season kind of destroyed me, but this year it's different, and I think I'm not going to do the same mistake again, you know.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Jeremy, and well done today.